don't. And to me, the Bulls left at the perfect time, 98. Now, there's a lot of people, Michael Jordan. This is perfect. It adds to the mythology. One of the cool things about Michael Jordan's legend, there's a lot of what if with it. Not with Bird, not with Magic, not with LeBron in Cleveland. It's kind of pathetic. It unravels. It is time. But there's a lot of what if with Jordan. Ooh, 6 for 6, but what if he didn't play baseball? Ooh, he could have gone 8 for 8. What if Jerry Krause didn't break him up? Ooh. Spurs dynasty had arrived. So in 99, the year Michael says, I want to come back for one more year, the Spurs went in the playoffs. They swept the Lakers. They swept the Blazers and destroyed the Knicks in 5. It was Duncan and Robinson. And frankly, you think Karl Malone was a bad matchup for Chicago? How would have Duncan and Robinson been? It was over. You watch this. How many close games were there? $19.98, ninth in offense. That's with the greatest offensive player ever. Ninth. Okay? So the idea, that it come back. No. The push off, Michael hits it. He's holding the trophy. There's 6 for 6. Seacrest out. It's the perfect way to do it. This is why the mythology of Michael is almost as great as the reality of Michael. Like Michael had a lot of struggles, a lot. Antagonized by his own GM. Pippen could be unreliable. Rodman was flaky and increasingly distracted. Kukoc was never really like one of the guys. Steve Kerr, Paxson, their career averages are 6 points a game. It was perfect. They were old, tired, offensively challenged, and Michael and the Bulls left the party just a little early, never too late. Now, let me shift to this. Scottie Pippen. I covered him in Portland. Apparently, Scottie Pippen has been wounded, is the word, by the documentary. And I've said this before. I don't think I've ever met anybody in their life that didn't deserve their reputation. I mean, we earn our reputations. Maybe not when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, but by the time you're 30, 40, 50, 60, you are what you are, good or bad. I've never seen a pro athlete who was a great guy with a terrible reputation. Jay Cutler's difficult. That's his reputation. Aaron Rodgers, talented, but can be difficult. That's his reputation. Dennis Rodman, talented, but flaky. That's his reputation. I'd say those are spot on. Okay? So Scottie Pippen doesn't like how he's portrayed in this. But having covered him, I think it's been as accurate with Scottie as anybody. Scottie is seen as super talented, vital to Michael Jordan's success, sometimes immature, pouted. They didn't bring up the DUI in the dock or the gun charge against Scottie. They showed the pouting on the bench. They showed him when he basically decided, I'm not going to get rehab and a surgery in the summer because I want to have a fun summer to hurt the team. When I covered Scottie, I thought he was really talented. I thought he was tough as hell. I thought he was a nice guy, but I never thought he was a leader. I thought he was the classic great vice president. And it should be noted, most great athletes are not great leaders. Jeter was. A-Rod was just talented. Peyton Manning and Brady are. Russell Wilson is. But I can name lots of quarterbacks. I've said with Aaron Rodgers, he's great. I don't know if he's a great leader. He's just really talented. But to be a great leader, you generally need examples of great leadership. Look at Scotty's background and look at Michael. One of the great advantages Michael had was rock-solid parents, into Dean Smith, into David Falk, into David Stern. Michael had so many amazing examples of leadership. Michael's too smart not to have gleaned some of that off that. Scottie Pippen's background, he didn't go to a classic college basketball power with a Dean Smith. His upbringing from the documentary was tougher. His father had a stroke very early. He went to a small college. So when I look at Scottie Pippen, I think he's an amazing American story. Is that if you look at his childhood, he didn't grow up with much, and he became an unbelievable. Now he's a broadcaster. He was a great player. He's a top 30 player I've ever seen, maybe a top 20 player. I don't know. But to ask every athlete to be a great leader is like asking every human being on the planet to be a great leader. Isn't that the thing we always complain about every presidential election? These are the candidates? This is what we're left with? Those are grown-ups. He was a kid. Scotty was a great player. He's a great story, but the documentary has not been unfair. It's been reasonable that Michael was the better player and the better leader. Scotty was super talented, but sometimes you couldn't count on him in big situations. I don't think that's inappropriate, nor do I think it's unfair. I think it's what Scotty is. Super talented, like a lot of pro athletes, but not built or not comfortable. Maybe that's a better word. To take the burden of a franchise on his shoulders. That wouldn't be abnormal. That would be normal. Most 21, 24, 27, 32-year-olds are not ready to carry like Russell Wilson an NFL franchise. They're simply not. And if you look at Russell Wilson and you look at Jeter and you look at Peyton Manning, much of the credit goes to when they were kids. And the people giving them great leadership ideas and paths. And so I don't think Scotty's been inappropriately or unfairly labeled. I think it showed him as a great teammate at times, sometimes a little moody and pouty. And in crisis, sometimes he was great, sometimes he wasn't. He was not always bad in crisis. He was often great in crisis. The one thing that thing showed last night was how tough he was. And I can say this having covered him. Scotty played through a lot of injuries. He hit the deck a lot, was on the floor a lot, was never 100% healthy, took care of his body, played hurt. Said this about Cam Newton. I don't love Cam. Cam is hurt a lot and playing through pain a lot. That and Scotty, I'll always give him credit for. All right, so there's a poll out this morning. It's a little recency bias. 73% of people now think that Michael is better than LeBron. In fact, they asked like 15 questions. And Michael won all of them by a landslide. And that is, frankly, a lot of nonsense. I'm going to go through the questions on the poll where overwhelmingly fans gave Michael the win in every single category: guy, shoes, player, teammate. I'll break down the truth on that coming up. Plus, J.A. Adonde is going to be joining us this hour as well. Everybody needs a great pair of wireless earbuds, and you already know Raycon earbuds start at half the price of other wireless earbuds, okay? Their newest model is the Everyday E25 earbud, 6 hours of playtime, seamless pairing with Bluetooth, more bass, and nice noise-isolating fit. You want to listen to a podcast, binge on that? Perfect. You want to work out, sweat on it? Perfect. Video chats, conference calls, Raycon's wireless earbuds